friend RMB does great live streams at night, and he was discussing a Medium article. And go check out his full screen. He reads the whole thing. We will not read the whole thing here. And it's a Medium article, so it's a blog by whoever. It's pretty decent. It kind of gets into everything wrong with what you're starting to see, and you're going to start seeing this more and more with the access media, is basically the requiem for the MCU. See, the MCU as we know it ends with Secret Wars. It's done. So they're going to do some sort of soft reboot, hard reboot. We've been, as said, we have been warning about this since Captain Marvel came out. When Captain Marvel came out, some of us were making videos going, a lot of us were making videos about Brie Larson, but my focus was basically, if you go down this road, I really care what Brie Larson said some stupid shit, and I definitely brought it up, but if you go down this road storytelling wise, you will fail, because we just saw it fail in the comic books miserably, and it ended up like destroying the industry, absolutely destroying the industry. So, and what did they do? As they went right down that fucking road. Yeah, they went hardcore down that road. So, and I've said it before, but they bypassed comics that used to sell in the millions. They bypassed all those from the 60s, 70s. Into the 80s, even into the 90s, to rush right to basically the post-Marvel era when Disney bought them. All new, all different. Axel Alonso era. You can't even blame that on Joe Quesada. He was out by then.
He was gone, yeah.
He was gone. Axel Alonso, who lasted, 2 years? And they canned his ass. And we got the same result. It shouldn't surprise anyone. And yes, they did spam out too much content. And yes, it turned into the MCU. Yes. But if even half their shit was good, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And I mean decent. Not 10 out of 10. But if half their stuff, guys, was 6, 7 out of 10, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It'd still be some of the stuff was okay. It was okay. But almost none of it was.
And we had the first one that was half decent was No Way Home, and that was Sony. So they didn't even profit from that. There was nothing good up until then. We had Black Widow, we had Eternals, we had Shang-Chi. I'm missing one. Then we had No Way Home.
How do you remember which ones came
I know.
out?
Then we had Multiverse and Madness.
Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, all blamed on COVID. Spider-Man No Way Home comes out, makes well over $1 billion, almost $2 billion.
Yeah.
And blows that argument out of the fucking water. And then we follow up with Doctor Strange Mom, which was carrying on the momentum from No Way Home because it had Doctor Strange in it, although he's the worst.
And Multiverse, it was the hook of the cameos.
It was the hook, when whatever incursion he was doing at the end, you could see other Spider-Man characters in there, like Rhino and shit. So, yeah. And then Sam Raimi's going to be directing Doctor Strange. Everybody's like, that's pretty good. Has an amazing first weekend, drops like a rock, still almost makes $1 billion, but was considered a failure of storytelling. Made a lot of money.
Most people don't defend it anymore.
It didn't make a lot of money because then we got the budget. Years later, we got the actual 400 and something million.
It generated a lot at the box office. The amounts of money any superhero movie, particularly Superman, would love right now.
Flown over $1 billion after that weekend, though.
Dude, it absolutely should have. But now that we're a couple of years away and people the dust has settled and they've watched Mahler's video and they understand that this was a failure of storytelling. It was a Doctor Strange movie that didn't really star Doctor Strange. He was following around a bunch of women, and the main character was Wanda. So we got that. Then we got Thor: Love and Thunder, which was a joke. Made Thor more of a joke. Then we had Wakanda Forever, where they didn't recast the late great Chadwick Boseman. They decided to exploit his death and turn it into female Black Panther. That one still made that still generated $800 million. Thor: Love and Thunder, $700 million. And then it gets worse. It actually gets worse than that. And then we get what was it? Now I'm losing.
Was it Ant-Man after that?
Okay, so if we start Phase 5 with Commie Mania, which was a flop, and was there something between Marvels and Commie Mania?
Oh, you're talking about Guardians 3?
Guardians 3, yes, which did well, was a holdover. Guardians 3 was a holdover, and we're back, baby. Marvel's back. And then the Marvels
bad and then had good legs.
Yes, it had good legs. And then the Marvels comes out. Then strikes happen, delay everything. And then we have Captain African American. We have this year, which is 0-3, which is 3 flops in a row.
Not looking good.
With Deadpool Wolverine, which again was
great, mate.
Deadpool Wolverine, massive success. We're back, baby. Marvel's back. Except it was all Fox characters and it was more cameos. And then we have, and what did we say at the time? Look what they have coming up. They have Ironheart. They have Captain African American coming up. These are going to be terrible movies. Thunderbolts, everybody laughed at, and look what it did. But the Fantastic Four, that was going to be the one, guys.
Don't panic. We got Wonder Man coming.
That's right.
Oh, my God. Wonder Man in December.
He looks just like the comic character. The resemblance is uncanny.
Well, yeah, if he fell in some soot.
Am
I wrong?
So we got between 2008 and 2019, the Marvel Cinematic Universe dominated cinema screens the world over. Moreover, it conquered popular culture. It made a lifelong comic book geek's dreams come true, foisting characters like Rocket Raccoon and Ant-Man into the zeitgeist. It was the zenith of the Marvel experiment, a nearly 60-year effort to weave a narrative tale traversing hundreds of titles and thousands upon thousands of individual issues, and it remains Marvel's Achilles heel. So we don't need to read this whole article because I'm going to sum up one of the problems he puts out, not all of them, but one of them, is that how Marvel is structured and how DC is structured. He even brings it, and he's not wrong, as we get asked comic recommendations all the time. And what do we do with Marvel? We either point to a particular creative run, like a Frank Miller run on Daredevil, or we just say, oh, here's a certain run, or a John Byrne run, or read 100 through 200, or just read the whole series. And he's not wrong, because Marvel has a sliding time scale, and they don't really break they fix their continuity as it goes, right? DC, on the other hand, has more individual stories. So we can recommend a Killing Joke or a Dark Knight Returns or a Kingdom Come. They have a lot of just stuff outside individual stories with endings, which makes it better to adapt. Problem is, where he's wrong with that is, what are you adapting? What he didn't mention is DC. What he basically saying was like DC doesn't cross over very much. Well, actually they do. And that's why they have to reset their universe every few years. So that's the common problem with DC. And that's why their back issues are not as worth as much as Marvel back issues, because it doesn't count anymore. It just doesn't count. And when you start doing that, it devalues your character and stuff. And that's why Marvel has always been more popular than DC. That's why Marvel has always outsold DC, because they had a continuous continuity. The Spider-Man you're reading now, well, at least not now, but at least we'll say 10 years ago, was the Spider-Man from the 60s. Same Spider-Mans. It's not the case with Batman, Superman, or whatever. And it does take away. So now Marvel's taking that away with too much multiverse. And now you have variants, and death doesn't matter anymore. And it was just, and he's not wrong by pointing out, like, introducing the multiverse was a horrible idea. Just a terrible idea. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have jumped 5 years. The other reason that he doesn't mention, guys, is the message. They're just adherents to being to political activism and basically hiring instead of casting instead of hiring creatives. Yeah, that's and success can hide a lot of flaws for a long time until it doesn't. The reason we say rest in peace, it's fucking over. They will never reach the. It's not special anymore. They won't reach the heights of Endgame. They're going to be forced to recast a bunch of characters, which they should have done. They should have gotten in the habit because if you recast, that creates excitement, energy, debate online. When you're recasting Spider-Man, people are going to, it sucks. It's great. Fuck you. I don't care. Let's find out. Like, at least people are talking about it. But they were so afraid to recast characters, they just killed them off, which was stupid. So now they're going to eventually have to do it, but they're not going to reach those heights again. And how are they going to recast? And what's next? What's next for the MCU? It's the X-Men. Do you have any confidence that Kevin Feige
no.
can do a proper X-Men?
No,
How many failures do they have to go through before something significant happens? And I guess what I mean by that is some kind of event that very much captures their failure, like budgets getting slashed all the way down to 50 million maximum for any given movie, or cancellation of, because I don't think the MCU is going to stop. I don't know what it would take for them to just stop, like how many failures and how significant the failures, because they're planning to reset relatively soon. But I think they're
gonna really take a step back after Secret War and think, what do we do?
Kevin Feige is Bill Belichick after he loses Tom Brady. That's what he is. He's Greg Popovich after Tim Duncan. He's a coach who won a bunch of championships with some great players. Those great players have moved on, but because he won a bunch of championships, there's a certain amount of loyalty to the guy. We're going to stick with what guy, and then he goes on for years and years and years just fucking sucking, and you probably should have gotten rid of him earlier. The problem is, who do you replace him with?
You can try to rebuild another team around him, which is what they did, but it didn't work. You got a 6-time Super Bowl.
Kevin Feige should just go. Kevin Feige should go get himself a 25-year-old girlfriend and
that's what Belichick didn't. I've never seen him happier.
Sorry, Mueller.
Dude, imagine he had chosen to leave at Infinity War. Everyone would assume he was like the secret source, the one that kept everything together. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, no, he stayed long enough now that any goodwill he had.
Even Endgame. Even if he left after Endgame.
Yeah.
I mentioned that at the time. He should go out on top. This is your time to leave. Go. Just go.
Endgame's got a lot of problems, but it's still a very watchable film, and there is good moments in it. Yeah, there's a lot of the plot stuff. You're just like, what the fuck,
dude? If he would have left after Endgame, they would rename Hollywood Feigewood. He would have streets named after him. He would be a fucking legend. He would be George Lucas. People. I
don't know what you're basing this on, Gary. I have it on good authority. The best eras of Doctor Who creator came back, and his reputation has soared.
It's so much better, right?
He's just improved upon everyone's perception of him.
It's not going to define his legacy at all.
No.
See the TARDIS on Strange New Worlds.
Fuck off. Piss off. Go get fucked.
If there was an infinite marathon and all these franchises are running, like Marvel, they've lost their legs. They're covered in blood. They're crawling across. And it's just like, man, you're just not going to stop crawling, I guess, are you?
He's that French aristocrat in Alien Earth. Who was crawling, who had no business being alive,
you stop being alive right now,
dude. Where he was cut off, like his liver's gone, like everything's yeah. It's like there's no way that dude would be alive.
I don't know. I'm just because how long Doomsday's it's probably not even gonna make money with the amount of money it's fucking cost them.
The production budget must be insane.
Secret Wars will be fascinating because they'll have blown their load already at that point.
So Rise of Skywalker, friends, was a $600 million movie. $600 million movie. And I remember that people were talking about it at the time and just going, that is crazy. That's bullshit. That can't be true. It was true. So Doomsday's got to be at least $500 million movie.
I would say so. At least 5.
So when we talk about like getting rid of Feige with like it's so absurd, but like Kathleen Kennedy's still working. So they're not going to get rid of Feige. They don't know what to do.
I would have thought that they wouldn't get rid of him just because they have no fucking clue what to do without him.
They don't.
They don't know what to do with him or without him.
No, they don't. They are stuck. And whatever change occurs is going to take years. And we live in a faster paced society now where things are going to change. Some things are going to change faster because they're TV shows or they'll fire late night people. But movies and games are way worse off because they take longer to make.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to see a lot of requiems for the MCU soon. People know, like even with these two movies that are, they're still going to generate money, especially the first weekend. your prediction of Spider-Man possibly making more than Doomsday could happen. I'm going to say it could happen. I would have said ridiculous before.
I thought you were about to say the prediction of making more than Supergirl is possible. I'd be like, Gary, please don't do this.
Spider-Man is going to make more than Supergirl and Superman combined.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it?
Sure,
yeah.
Jan. Yeah.
It's going to make a lot of money. Sony is very smart to capitalize on, like, people are going, oh, Kevin Feige and Marvel are pushing this. And it's like, no, fucking Sony is doing this because they are going to capitalize on Marvel's weakness, which puts them in a greater position to renegotiate with Marvel. And they have all the fucking power because guess what? We've got the only character that's successful.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.